Hi! Earlier this year, I finally got myself the AirPods Pro, and I was happy to find that Spigen is making a case that perfectly matches the one that I got earlier for my iPhone. Unfortunately, just after a few weeks, I started to notice a crack in the button that opens it. I figured, well, maybe it will just stay that way, but it didn't, and the crack got bigger and bigger. I've contacted Spigen to ask if they can help me at all with some replacement part maybe, but they did send me back to my local seller since I'm in the European Union and they are in the US branch. I just went that way, and what the seller did respond to my client got me kind of startled, so I just did request my money back through Allegro. Thanks, Allegro. For those who don't know, Allegro is like Polish eBay, but better. I got my money back, but that wouldn't solve it for me. I didn't want money, I wanted for the thing to be working and complete. Throwing out an almost good item is unthinkable to me. So I considered using it just without the button, but I knew that would bother me forever. And I also liked the feature of the AirPods being kept closed with the button. And only at this point, I considered that maybe if I try really hard, I can print something like this. Earlier, I wouldn't even think of this because if the original molded part wasn't good enough, then how could a printed part replace it? And now I don't know why I thought that, and definitely a lesson for me. Also, I was pretty sure I couldn't make it with enough precision, but I decided to just ditch all those thoughts and give it a try. Of course, I had to remove the button first, and I want to show you all how to do this if you are also here to repair your case. And just as I was putting the original button back in to make this video, to take you through the process from the beginning, it cracked entirely here. First of all, you shall take the AirPods out of the case, and for this, Spigen does provide this useful tool that you just put into the port here and just like place it vertically and just take this off. So that is easy. And I don't have the top part, but because it's sticked on with like a strip of glue that's provided, and you don't need to remove the top part. I did remove it because for like 2 months or something I was carrying my AirPods just in another 3D print like that before I made this video. So to remove the button, you need something of similar diameter as the axle that holds it, which is 1 millimeter. A SIM card removal tool from my iFixit set worked perfectly, but I'm pretty sure the paper clip will also do the job just right. So you need to just align it there and push it out on the other side, as you can see here, and then it has like a groove, so you can grab it and just take it out. And now you can just take out the button. Mine is still somehow in single piece, despite it's cracked all the way through. So I will just take those springs out and leave them aside. So having the button out, I took some measurements and started with the basic shape. I mapped out the basic dimensions and angles of rounded corners, so it fits in this dimension. Then I started to map out some basic features. Then we're realigning the hole for the LED, had to make it a little bigger. And then I started to think about the mechanism. The springs seem to be making a problem having too much force, so I thought maybe a solution could be to replace those with a springy piece of PETG printed, like you see here. And I was able to create it and print it, but it didn't have enough force to keep the case closed. So I did a few tries with that, and there it went through like a few versions. But then I figured, well, maybe let's just make it the way that it was supposed to be. When I map out the holes for the first time, I was amazed to see how neatly the original springs fit back in. see for yourself here. You can just take such a spring and just pop it in, and it will sit there neatly so you can assemble it. And that was actually already a pretty good version. The next one I did mark with a check mark that this is good enough. Then for those few tries I was focusing on getting the depth of the hole for the axle in the button just right. And also I tried printing with the glow-in-the-dark filament, which gave a cool effect, could be helpful when finding the AirPods sometimes in the dark or in the bag or something, so you can print out of that as well. And finally, I noticed that the holes in the springs should be adjusted a little bit better, so I moved them. But at this point I also started to get bad prints, and I went through like few tries here and here and here. Eventually I figured that this is because at the try 15 I also changed the infill to 100%, and I think that made the parts swell vertically too much, in the end having the printhead scrape the surface and destroying the details. But when corrected the infill back to 15%, I got it just right. This is the final part that I consider I am happy with. So now let's assemble it. What you need to do first is take the button and just put those springs there. They should just sit in there with a slight click. Here we go. And then it's just enough to align that to those holes. You can see through here if they match, and once it sits nicely, you can just pop the rod, axle, you name it, back in, and just align this with the hole on the other end. And with the tool that you were using earlier, you can just pop it slightly back in, and here it is, working back perfectly. So now, having that finally on video, I can assemble my AirPods back into it. It's nice that Spigen included the extra tape for sticking the top back on, so I will do that just now off camera. So yeah, that would be hard to do on camera, but you already did it once, so probably you know. And this is the new button working. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Despite spending quite some time on this, quite a few afternoons and evenings, I always have a lot of satisfaction from fixing stuff that otherwise would most certainly end up disregarded. And to give credit where it's due, this Reaper only worked because everything else on this case is built well. That rod holding the button is made of adamantium at least, or maybe even unobtainium. I pulled it in and out endlessly and it never bent once. If it had, the fix would be much harder to do. The rod going through the button is kept by plastic of the case only, and it didn't chip, it didn't stretch or anything. It still keeps all the parts just right, just in place. It's really good quality. The springs, of course, are very sturdy and also made from some strong metal. And despite I found out it did scratch my AirPods charging case a little bit, I'm very happy with it. It's very drop proof. I hope the new button will last for some time, and even if not, I can always print out a new one. So I did share the button on my Cool's 3D profile. You can find the link in the description. I did print it with PETG, 15% infill and 0.12mm layer height, and I think this will give you the best result. Also remember to add a few loops of skirt. You can find the print profile file in the link as well. Cheers!